everybody. So, DBD. DBD, am I right? What is going on with behavior? Like, what the actual fuck? Let me get to the meat and potatoes of this. So, let me see. Okay, so, for those of you who doesn't know what's going on, basically what Dead by Daylight did was the stream with Utz, Mish, G-Burp, and Ghost Arcade was kind of just like fucked up because cheaters kept getting into the lobby that we're in. So Utz was trying to be like, hey, I have experience with this. I've seen this before. Why don't we bring some of the staff in? And why don't we let my mods join? And they weren't allowing both staff to join, and they weren't allowing any of Utz's, the mods to join. So they just ended up, as it was described by Spook, because that's the video I watched. I wasn't gonna go and look for the footage because actually it's been taken down by Behaviour on their official channel. So he used Utstarva's video, so I haven't watched that. I don't think I will, because I think I'm just going to end up getting frustrated that no one's doing anything. Basically, they just end up sitting in a lobby for an hour, and Chandler ended up leaving. So, it was a big missed opportunity, and in my opinion, this isn't the first time that they've kind of just ignored their creators. I will show you guys... Hold on. Well, I will give Behaviour one little thing, though, because... Okay, I'll go back to that in 2 seconds. I saw a post about it. This person. I've seen Behaviour, or calling this girl to get fired because you all clearly... Oh, yeah, because while it was going on, Chandler was like, hey, why don't we listen to Utz? And then someone was like, no, like, just basically brushing him off. And I think that this is a fair point. I've seen people call this girl to get fired because you all clearly don't understand how companies work. This stream was a promotional event with AMC, so, like, the official, streaming, or, like, the people who created Walking Dead, or they have, like, the copyrights, I'm assuming. Everyone involved had to sign forms. They couldn't have employees or mods fill slots because they didn't sign anything. And I said, this is a fair point, but someone at Behaviour should have done something more proactive to make that a possibility, because it's like... They were sitting there for an hour. I feel like they had time. Or they could at least make a plan and then reschedule or something. Because they brought him to headquarters. I feel like something like this, especially with how buggy DBD is and how prevalent cheaters can be, this should have been something that should have been brought up in the contracts. And I'm like, Behaviour knows that their game, especially with, like, the Streetwise bugs... The Streetwise bug and the Clown Speed bug, their game, and Jim, I mean, he wasn't intended, but he's very welcome in this community. But with all this stuff happening, they should have put in something that allows people to step in if something is happening in the game, whether that's employees or mods, and they should have had safety protocol. But that is something that they kind of touch on in this post that they made. So let me just read it out for you guys, because this wasn't included in Spook's video, but he did talk about it in the comments. So I wanted to just say my piece about it. DVD Behaviour says, yesterday's live stream with Chandler, Riggs, and our creators didn't go as planned, and we want to sincerely apologize for how things unfolded. As most of you are now aware, we couldn't complete a match because the dedicated server players were on was a target of an attack. This put our content creators in an incredibly difficult position, trying to troubleshoot and adapt in real time while live. We know our creators have experienced similar issues, and they showed remarkable patience and resourcefulness, offering suggestions to help get things back on track. While our security team was on hand during the incident, we didn't properly assess the situation and didn't act on potential mitigation plans, and this is a failure on our part. We want to be clear. Our creators and our community are the core of what we do. The last thing we ever want is for them to feel ignored or left out of the loop. We didn't communicate well enough, and we're taking a hard look at how we can do better moving forward. We also want to take the time to apologize to all of you, our TWD players. What was meant to be a fun moment bringing our community together turned out to be the opposite. After talking to creators, we are taking their feedback to improve how to run these streams in the future. Lastly, we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Chandler Riggs, G-Burb, Ghost Arcade, Mish, and Outstara for their time and support yesterday. Having Chandler and Rick Grimes for DVD at our office was still an amazing moment that we're really proud of to have seen happen, and the continuous passion shown by our content creators and community is not something we take for granted. I think that a lot of this is very, very much corporate talk. The one good thing I will say is they didn't, dance around what happened. Not that I don't think they could, because that would have made them look worse. But they acknowledged that they were attacked, basically, because their game was kept getting DDoSed, which makes, the game lagged out and just basically unplayable. And I do like that they advantaged that the content creators were put in a difficult position, because it's they acknowledge it, and I'm that might not seem like a lot to some people, but I would say that acknowledging that something has happened is a rarity. A rarity when most companies want to just kind of brush things under the rug and move on. So this is where I have an issue. We know our creators have experienced similar issues, and they showed remarkable patience and resourcefulness, offering suggestions to help things back on track. So it's yeah, we know that they were giving us answers. While our security team... What security team? What security team? I could have thought that this was a stream ran by a bunch of creators, because where was security? You're not gonna need security in real life. Security was the people who should have been hopping in that lobby and filling up those spectator slots, because it's literally the fucking easiest situation to do. They're security, and they're part of Behaviour. So if anyone should have been joining that lobby on that stream, it should have been the security team. Because usually security kicks people out, but this isn't a physical thing, it's an online thing. Basically what they had to do is be security and be the bouncers for that match. And it's ridiculous that that's not what happened. I know that there might have been stuff that they didn't sign, but that's literally what security does, is they insert themselves in the situation. If you're at a bar and two people are fucking getting rough with each other, fighting, security's supposed to come there, separate the fight, and kick out the wrong individual, the individual who's fucking making, being the aggressor. My point is, why didn't security go in there to basically, online, kick them out of the lobby? Because it says we didn't properly assess the situation. I understand that it's because despite them being the creators of the video game, it feels like they're just oh, this is a video game. Because, okay, let me take a sip and then I'll retextualize my thoughts. Because this feels like people were oh, this is just a video game. But it's yes, but you are a game company. So a stream that involves your video game is something that could very easily damage, your reputation if it doesn't go right. You, with all your talk about stopping cheaters and getting better anti-cheat, you just fucking rolled over and took it. And I'm thinking that what they might have been trying to do was code shit, or maybe do something with the actual game itself live, but that takes so much longer. It could make more bugs and mess up so many more things, and it's just one stream. So if anything, Odd Situation was the easiest thing you could do, especially when he's telling you that he's had experience with this, and he's hey, I know what's going on, I've had an experience with this, this is what you need to do to fix the problem. He was giving you the easiest solution ever. And honestly, this whole bit of we didn't properly assess the situation and didn't act on potential mitigations is just a cop-out. We didn't properly assess. People in chat knew what to do. This is not the first time that this has happened. You are not a unique situation. You're not in a unique situation solely because you are based at your headquarters, you know? You are still playing the same game. There's no special behavior employee use only kind of party that you used, you know? It's not like it was password protected or anything, you know? It's not like it was special in any way. It's just a normal ass custom game. And you didn't think like, hey, maybe we should listen to the creators who literally play custom games with their fucking audiences all the time, or at least have once or twice maybe off stream and friends, or just they play the game in general so they know how to deal with it, you know? Like, this is literally their job. That's like going to a pizza place and telling them that you can walk behind there and cook a pizza because you know how to make a pizza, but it's like, no, there could be safety regulations and stuff that you don't know about, because that's their job. Their job would be to make those pizzas. I'm gonna go more into what I think later about them and their feelings about creators, but let me get through this. We want to be clear, our creators and our communities are at the core of what we do. Sure doesn't fucking feel like it. The last thing we ever want to do is make them feel left out, feel ignored, or left out of the loop. This is not the first time that this has happened. While there are like people who are technically like in the like the DVD, like specifically DVD creators that Behaviour endorses, like Ghost Arcade, like he's a Fog Whisperer. I genuinely don't think they give a shit about any of the creators, because this is not the first time that creators have been like, hey, here's what you could do better to either fix the game, or here's ideas to add to the game, or, you know, this or that, and them just kind of not give a shit. Because there was supposed to be, I don't know if anything ever happened with this, but there were supposed to be creators that were brought on for like beta testing, like if they were trying new stuff out but they didn't want to announce it to the world and this and that. I'm not sure if it was the same thing as PTB or what, but I thought to my understanding, it was supposed to be something completely different. And I don't think it ever went anywhere. That, or it didn't succeed like they went to, and they weren't listening to the creators. And in general, they just don't listen to their community just because of how long it takes for bugs or stuff to actually fix, and then them either nerfing or buffing things that don't need to get nerfed or buffed, and it just messes with everybody. That is why I said that I wasn't surprised, because this is not the first time that they have worked with creators and the creators kind of just got fucked over. But I really want to believe that they're actually trying to be better. I will say that Dead by Daylight now, I feel like is better than how it was when I first started playing it back in 2019. But Jesus Christ, ever since I started playing, this is like the worst it has been in like at least like ages. And then of course we didn't communicate well enough, and we're trying hard, taking a hard look about how we can do better moving forward. Literally all you have to do, if you were working on something behind the scenes, which I'm not saying that they were or weren't, but if they were working on something behind the scenes, then they should have been like, hey guys, why don't we take a break or reschedule or something? Why don't we, you know, take a minute, step back, talk to each other off stream or on a break, regroup, and then go forward with the plans. There was no reason that they should have been sitting in that fucking lobby for an hour with basically no communication. I don't even know if any of the Behaviour staff talked to them at all. And then, of course, apologies, which, you know, thanks, I guess, but it's kind of like the bare minimum. I mean, not in company sense, but to me, that's literally the bare fucking minimum. After talking to the creators, we are taking their feedback to improve how we run these streams in the future. I am gonna press X to down on that. I generally don't know if they're going to. I want to believe that they're going to, but how they have been in the future and how they are now, it was clear as day what they should have been doing. Literally clear as day. And it's not like even if it wasn't in the contract, it's not like they were physically going to be there. It's online, you know? Like, them being there was not going to affect the gameplay at all. It wasn't going to affect the environment at all. It would have just meant that people were watching it in real time, whether that was Behaviour employees or any of the mods. And then lastly, we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all the people. Yeah, just talking about how great it was having them in the office and the continuous passion so bare content creators and community is not something we take for granted. But I think it is, though. Because to be honest, people have to be because my mindset with this game is people have to be forgiving with the game in order to actually enjoy the game. With the amount of things that there are, whether that's like hits not hitting correctly, hitboxes being wrong, whether that's perks not working like how they're supposed to be, killers not working how they're supposed to be. Like, there's so much stuff that you have to just be like, oh, that's just how DBD is, and then move on, instead of being like, no, what the fuck, I paid for this game. This game should not have as many bugs as it does, especially with how much money that Behaviour gets from not just like the game, but also orc cells, skins, new characters, and like the Rift Pass, you know? Basically all that stuff. I know you can buy that stuff with orc cells, but on whether Behaviour means to or not, they do take for granted the big audience that they have. It would be very stupid to pretend that you're not. Like I said, even if you don't mean to. Because if people stopped giving DBD the grace that they do every single day about, like I said, bugs and glitches and all that kind of stuff, nobody would play this game. Nobody. But I will. I still really, really love this game, despite what happened and despite my very negative interpretation of this game. I'm not going to stop playing it. People are saying to boycott Orc cell buying or boycott spending money on DBD in general, and I will say that is up to you. Personally, I don't really spend that much money on it besides to get the Rift Pass, and then if there's licensed survivors, that's about it. I'm not very big on spending a bunch of money on cosmetics, but honestly, that's mostly because I'm just poor and I can't afford to be dropping like $40-50 a month on fucking cosmetics for every single new survivor. Especially like ones I don't play. Like, unless I really want a skin, I'm not gonna be spending all that fucking money on it. Yeah, it's a mess, honestly. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, someone was saying that this post about the DDoS reports was they're working on it, okay? But that's from March 2 years ago. So that's not even relevant today. Oh yeah, this person said, so not only did Behaviour embarrass Ots live, they rude as hell to their guests that was only trying to make sure they knew they had an option to fix their game. An option, by the way, that does work because Tofu had just used the same solution in his tournament. Perfectly fine. But yeah, what he was saying was, because I can't be fucking bothered to fix that right now. But he was saying, oh hey, Odds said that this could be a solution on how to fix it is to fill up the lobby, and no, it doesn't know, not for what this is. Yeah, and he gets cut off. Basically, that's what he said. I am hoping that they will fix it. Whether they actually do work on that kind of stuff in the future is to be seen. I am still holding out hope, but it is not looking good, chat, because it hasn't been looking good for a while. I'm not gonna lie.